Friends, after the great flood of Noah, Noah started growing grapevines. And one day he got completely drunk with the wine that he had made, and he became uncovered inside his tent. And the Bible says that his wicked son Ham saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers, Shem and Japheth, about it. So Shem and Japheth took a cover, and walking backward, they covered the nakedness of Noah. Then, when Noah came to his senses, he knew what his younger son Ham had done to him. However, he cursed Ham's son Canaan for what happened, and not Ham. Was he afraid of handling his own son Ham, who had gone so rebellious? There is a lot to unpack here. At this point of history, they had recently descended from Mount Ararat, where the ark had landed, toward the Armenian side, and Noah, his sons, and their families were all staying together inside a walled city called Aratta to protect themselves from the wild animals that were roaming outside. Meanwhile, Ham and his son Cush were rebelling against the God of Noah, and Ham was in close communication with Lucifer, the devil, and had become the father of black magic. And there was bestiality. Ham had even given his daughters to mingle with the fallen entities, just as in the days prior to the flood. This Ham is the Kamdev, and his son Cush is the Kashyapa of Hinduism, and his wives giving birth to all kind of animals in Hinduism explain this scenario. And again, it was within this enclosure called Aratta, Cush begat Nimrod the giant, which is another sign of miscegenation, that is intermingling. And owing to his size, Nimrod was the first one to leave Aratta. He hunted down the wild animals, cleared the wild growth, and built many city-states in Mesopotamia, even before Egypt was established. By the way, Nimrod the giant is worshipped as Shiva in Hinduism, and that's why we find his gigantic statues all over the world. In ancient history, Nimrod was also known as Enmerkar. And again, when they were all together in Aratta, Noah's sons had divided the known parts of the world among themselves by casting lots. Meanwhile, Noah was complicating the situation by continuing to make more children who wouldn't have any land of their own. Maybe this whole drunken episode is a setup by Ham to trick his father to get drunk in the company of his grandson Canaan, so that Ham can do witchcraft on his father's body so as not to reproduce anymore. Why else do you think that Noah would curse Canaan? Even in paganism, this is such a pivotal event that their mythologies talk about it as Kronos castrating his father Uranus, where Kronos is Ham and Uranus is Noah. Well, these are a few pointers which make another piece of the great puzzle we call history, friends. Thanks for watching.